car, I be on job and I put it on God, they ain't nobody stopping me.
Whatever training program you're using, if it's not sentinel training, you're wasting your time. HWPO doesn't PO. Well proven is actually okay, but ours is better. Get some GPP in your life, uncle. We program fun and challenging workouts and preserve the most effective cure for and barrier against chronic disease. We review your workouts and give feedback and spend hours getting the workouts right. Sign up now at trainsentinel.com. If you don't, well then everything they say about you is true, you concubine.
Yeah, trainsentinel.com. Here is our standings for the females. Elisa Fuliano in top spot. Can't go to the games, but can win €12,000. She's on 408. Behind her by 20 points, Lucy McGonigal. Behind her, Claudia Dluck. Behind her, Taylor Howe. Taylor Howe is only 4 points behind Claudia. She also, I don't think she did the Open, so she can't go to the games either. Claudia Dluck and Lucy McGonigal are currently sitting in the CrossFit Games qualifying positions. Joanna Skendaj and Miriam von Rohr. Mathematically, Miriam is the last probable person to have a shot at taking one of the top two spots when you look at it. Leah Starn just too far back. Everybody else just too far back. But Miriam essentially needs to really do really well in this next workout, which is this a strength for Taylor? Ring muscle ups, bike?
Yeah, she's good at muscle ups. She's
pretty powerful on a bike
too. She did it in, where did she do it?
Wildland Fest?
Yeah. And her time was 5 minutes 12.
Yeah.
And Lucy Campbell did it in 4 minutes 21. But she's not here.
And ahead of her, though, you've got Claudia Dluck, who is here, 4:33.
Yeah.
Lisa Fuliano, who is here, 5:04. So she will have her work cut out for. Leah Starn is here too, and she did it faster than her. So it's going to be interesting. Pretty good showing for Connie Eastby. I mean, that's like if she breaks into the top 10, that's a good showing. She did Wildland Fest too. And Holly Tynan inside the top 20 as well. What do you think is like? It's not the deepest field, is it?
No,
in either side, male or female. Is that
no?
Is that? Do you think that there's two semi-finals pretty close together, so it kind of dilutes the field a bit, and then you throw in World Fitness Project on top?
Yeah, I don't think any of that helps. I think if we went back to just one big competition in Europe, around about this time of year, it would be better. We'd see a deeper field, if you like, of more strength, but. No, it is what it is. You can only worry about and beat the people that are around you. So,
yeah, that Diana Pinchuk is dangerously close to Diana Panchik, isn't she?
Messenger at the door.
El Danilo. So we might have a guest coming on here with us to watch so we've got 30 from Mayhem coming up. You will have seen it at the Mayhem Classic. You will have seen it at, where else did you see it? Wildland Fest?
Yeah.
Copasur.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got like some data. Barclay has provided us with some data. That was nice and loud there. Her Panchik, yeah.
All right, première vague, femme elite, women in lane 2, Laura Perez.
So here come the girls. I've just realized that you can set a goal of super chats, so I'm going to do that just for fun. So if we get 5 super chats, I'll tell a cool story.
What's a super chat?
So people can pay like €2 to say hi. So heat 1 of our females
Lane 11, Celia Girard. Lane 12, Chiara Salandra.
are coming.
Lane 13, Sara Massoni. Lane 14,
Well, that's actually better like that, isn't it? That view.
Lane 15, 15, Ricky
rather than that.
Larson. Lane 16, Diana Pinchuk. Lane 17, Patricia Simons. And lane 18, Sophia Benson.
Squeegeeing her bar there. She looks like she's going for a cycle. It's like a triathlete's gear.
Ladies, 1 minute.
If you're here for the first time, consider subscribing. So this started out, we were asked if we wanted to do, well, you were asked if you wanted to do the English broadcast. I said, yeah. You were asked if anyone else wanted to do it with you. You
No,
suggested
let's rewind that a little bit. So I was asked if I knew anybody who would do the English broadcast, not would I do it. So this is when I pushed you in. This is why I am here in the background.
And yeah, there was some
30 seconds.
choice comments on yesterday's broadcast. I will say, what you can see on the screen is what we can see on the screen. So we can see that girl's head massive on the screen now. We can't see the whole picture. If you go to the French stream on the French Throwdown, you will get more accurate professional commentary because he can see all of the lanes, the lane assignments, etc. from where he's sitting. So this is more of a watch along. So that's our vibe.
We're not play-by-play commentators.
We'll keep you up to date as we can, but I mean, at times we're going to say, oh, that blonde girl in the red top, as opposed to in lane 7. So if you're looking for Sean Woodland,
You've come to the wrong place.
yeah, Sean Woodland. If you're looking for Sean Woodland, you've come to the wrong place.
All right, 30 calorie echo bike. How long did it take you to dust this off?
Do I have to do the rings?
No,
Kind of
just the bike at the start.
If I'm just doing 30 calorie echo bike, I'm not overly familiar with the echo bike. 30 calorie assault bike will probably be like maybe 125.
Yeah, fine.
So what echo bike would probably be like 135, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
A bit slower.
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer. Calories a little bit slower. Nothing happens for the first 6 seconds, regardless of what you do. So
It's just testing your mental resolve. Can you keep pedaling? And are you going to stop and question your monitor?
Some of our athletes, Ricky Larson.
Wow, okay. She's a lot faster than I'd be.
one old school football jersey.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of... Oh, I need to see the front of it. I wonder is it like yeast or something. All right, so 1 minute 20. We've got two. They're both wearing the same shirt. That's not confusing at all. We've got 4 athletes heading to the rings. Oh, bar, sorry. We've got 30 muscle ups on the bar and then back to the bike for another set of 30 calories. If you're behind now, you're just screwed, are you?
No.
No?
No, I think you can make up time on the bar muscle ups. Again, it's one of those things where there's probably more time to be made up on the bar muscle ups, but then there is 2 sets of the echo bike. So just because you get into the bar mid-pack, it doesn't mean you can't come off them first. But then whether you can hold on over a 30 calorie, 90-second effort is a different kettle of fish. So
Would you rewrite this workout? Would you? I don't love that it ends on the echo bike. I'd love if it ended on the muscle ups and then a sprint to the finish, like the one across the line.
what is in like muscle up bike, muscle up?
Yeah, like you'd have to change everything.
Yeah, you'd have to change the workout. I do like the workout as it is. But I think the second echo bike is going to be a lot different to the first echo bike. First echo bike is basically trying not to spike your heart rate too much that you can't breathe on the muscle ups. But when you get back on for the last 30, there's no excuse other than to just empty the tank.
Yeah.
Again, 30 muscle ups. There are people in the field that will be able to do 30 bar muscle ups unbroken. Coming off a 30 car echo bike sprint and having to go back on is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, so there's an code and showed, I suppose, for most people. Will anybody do it, do you think?
Unbroken?
Yeah.
I would say no, because generally, unbroken doesn't always mean faster. If you're resting on top of the bar to go unbroken, you could still lose out to someone who's doing faster reps, but breaking up a little bit more.
Wow, there's our first athlete off 3 minutes 20, and she's sitting back on the bike. And she was far from the first person off the bar.
Exactly, but maintaining this lead now over 30 calories is a different thing.
I mean, okay, she's probably maybe more
You can
calories.
see the difference in the kips as well. Like the different, more of a glide kip is a lot slower, a little bit harder on the midline. But more of a classic CrossFit gymnastic kip is going to be a faster way to get through the muscle ups, way less with the feet going on. So the athletes that can do smaller kip, I guess you would call it, is going to be advantageous in this workout. Faster reps. 65 cadence there, is it, I think, on the screen?
Yeah, it looks like it. So 4 minutes on the clock.
Gamble's time, 4:21 in Wadland Fest.
Felice Pudiano 5:04, and she's doing it in the next heat.
Touch.
So Lucy's good. Her world record stands.
Claudia Glucker 4:33 in the Mayhem Classic, so
She's gonna have to better
she
herself.
does the same thing again.
It'd be similar to Isabel though, wouldn't it? Like learnings, like
Potentially learning pacings of maybe,
there's our first 4:45. She was the first girl back to the echo bike the second time. Definitely not the first girl onto the bar. Here's our second.
sometimes you throttle back on the echo bike, you can get through the muscle ups a little bit faster. Good strategy.
God, I love the waddle run after sprints. Remember that Wadapalooza where they did the pistols and then they had to run to the finish?
Yes.
We have a very eloquent special guest coming. Have a seat.
My goodness, what a setup.
So, Dan, founder, head, French Throwdown.
The founder of Head.
King of France.
The founder of Head.
The king of France, I've been told, to call you back. Oh shit, we're supposed to bow. My liege.
Yeah, careful. That's one good thing in Head.
How, this is what, 13th year? 12th,
Yeah,
13th year?
something like that. Yeah.
Is it,
I was in my late teens when we started.
you happy with it? Are you like proud of the show you put on here?
Of the event, yeah. The test of fitness, yes. But in all honesty, it's a very difficult year. You know, we're not going to stand up. It's been a controversial year. It's been a complicated year. And all we want is that the people that are here have a really good time, and that the athletes have a great test in a really outstanding venue with some good judging, some great programming, and their friends and family come see. And I think that we succeeded in doing.
Did you envisage this like when you started first? Were you like, we're going to have an arena, we're going to have multiple floors, we're going to be a ticket to the games? Like, was this the plan, or are you shocked at the level it's gotten to?
No, I don't think we've scratched the surface yet. Honestly, you have growth isn't a moonshot; it's a sigmoid curve, right? And I think we're going through right now since if you go back 12 months and you go, okay, how can we screw things up? Let's make a plan to make sure we have a year where we can't sit on our laurels afterwards. We couldn't have done a better plan, right? And so a year later, we're here with, I'd say, like a ton of regret. Saying, oh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. But it's good. It's good because if we care about CrossFit, then we're going to make better decisions moving forward. When I say we, it's not just us sitting here, right? It's as a collective, it's as a community. If we care about CrossFit, we have to make better decisions around the sport. And I know people say, yeah, well, the sport isn't the affiliates, and the affiliates aren't sport. They're intimately linked. It's like a pair of socks. You don't have one without the other. Right? The Open. Oh yeah, only 250,000. I reckon there are 500,000 people did the Open this year.
Yeah, it's just who registered and didn't.
Yeah, and sentiment, and all this kind of stuff. And I think we need a reset, and this is the reset.
How do you change that mindset or narrative of people who are outside or have moved themselves outside saying they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm not going to sign up for the Open, I'm not going to support, I'm not going to buy tickets to the games, I'm not going to book my seminars, I'm not going to be a member of an affiliate, we're not going to re-affiliate our affiliate. Like, how do you stop the slide and then start shifting it back towards, yeah, we have a common cause here and we're all on the same team?
I think you start with the internal culture first, and then you can't have a different agenda through the community. Right? As an organization, how do you stay the epicenter of things? Your agenda is their agenda. So if an affiliate's agenda is growing the number of people doing this thing called CrossFit, and if it's learning how to do it in a better way, well, that needs to be the organization's agenda as well. And monetizing things should be secondary. When monetizing things is primary, then your agenda is different, and that's when you breach trust. And I think that's without knowing it, I think that's a situation that we got ourselves into, and I think that's a situation that some affiliates or athletes felt that the agendas weren't the same, and they need to be the same. So we need to get back on the same agenda. The culture needs to be, I'd say, simplified a little bit, and we'll see what happens. I think it all depends on who the next owners of CrossFit are. But regardless of who the owners are, I mean, I'm super hopeful. Why? Because 250 volunteers come and they give up at least 4 days. About 50 volunteers give up 9 days of their life for free to put on an event that they're literally giving up a week of their paid leave. That shows you that there's something there that is way more profound than sulking. CrossFit's enduring, it's robust. We saw it with when Greg removed the media team, and he took CrossFit off social media. Dave got fired, the tweets, ex-different CEO. CrossFit's still here.
Yeah.
It's still the biggest fitness movement in the world. There are more CrossFit gyms in the world than any other movement brand or anything like that. So all the naysayers, that's BS. Yes. Could it be healthier? Yeah, it can. But the methodology is a methodology. Now, I just think the agendas have to be the same. Sorry for the long answer to you.
No, I like it. Do you think that, obviously you've done this for multiple years and you've had situations where French Throwdown was the only European qualifying event and there was 11 spots and etc. or whatever.
We had 10 last year, yeah.
And now this year you have 11 spots at the affiliate. The week before you have Wildland Fest. The week after you have French. The World Fitness Project is this weekend too.
Yeah.
And you've all these conflicting things.
Yeah.
Is that side of the sport something that you think needs to be streamlined or developed differently?
Well, I mean, I can only speak for what I'd like to see personally. I'd like to see a season that stays the same for several years in a row. Because I think athletes, coaches, affiliates, spectators are tired of change. You get a bit wary of it. And whether the change is good or not, you're just fed up with it. It's like, oh shit, here comes another.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see a season that makes sense, that we can stick to for like 5 years. It would make everyone's life easier. I would like to see an opportunity for people from developing nations to qualify. So, talking earlier with Greg, country champions, national champs, that kind of stuff. Maybe there's a stream to qualify through that, the first of each country like we did a few years ago. And yeah, it's like the first day is, oh my God, so many athletes. But yeah, it's like...
Even if they went into the qualifying event afterwards,
yeah,
and you picked the top two of those.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
funnel effect, basically.
How can you get an Ecuadorian at the games? How can you get a Gambian at the games? How can you... Because that's where it's like, I know that France grew when we started to translate seminars into French, one thing. And then the other thing was there was a really promising young athlete called Jean who qualified for the games. And so there's the aspirational piece, there's the educational piece, and those two happen at the same time, and France just exploded. It's the second biggest country for CrossFit in the world now. And we should want that in every country around the world. So how do we get a Norwegian there, a Finn there? I won't say Iceland because they get there anyhow. But how do you get a Portuguese guy and go to the games? I think that's one thing. And then yes, I think we should have in-person seminars. I'm not a big fan of the online seminars. Why? Because what CrossFit does really well is bring people together. And I mean, I don't know if you saw what we're doing yesterday with the volunteers, but that's what CrossFit's about. It's about emotion. And you don't get that online. You get people working out on their own and then questioning, judging calls and all judging. But I'm a big believe in this. And a lot of the people that are here or that go to Wadden Festival cannot make it to the games. This is as close they're going to get to a high-end fitness competition.
Yeah, pretty much. But now we have all of our field on the bar muscle ups. This is the
Oh yeah, we had to commentate the heat, so I forgot that.
This is the fourth time we've seen this. We'll move over a bit. We'll let Johnny in.
Because we've only got the right jawbone, the right jawbone for the Johnny Deppers. We'll call you the Johnny Depp from, was it 21 Jump Street, not the Heather case Johnny Depp.
Yeah, the original.
Edward Scissorhands. You studied nothing. The best looking guy on Seminar Star.
Right, so 220 on the clock.
Bold.
So Claudia Gluck in this heat, 4:33 is her best time so far. She's going to need to do better than that. That was at Wadland or at Mayhem Classic, and Elise Fuliano 5:04 at Wadland Fest. She's going to need to do a lot better than that. Have we got any fans in here? Leia Starn, Norway. There's the Norwegian athlete you're talking about.
Oh, she's lovely. She's a nice kid. I'll tell you what, I think the athlete boycott, you mentioned it, it's not bad. It's healthy because you can't sit indoors. Yeah. And it means the games team and everybody, you have to make sure that the CrossFit Games is the best possible in the story. But it's also going to give an opportunity to some young up and comers. And maybe you miss out by 1 or 2 spots at the games, and your career's pushed back. That window of opportunity is there, and they know it. They can smell it, they can seize it, and I think it's going to be a pretty exciting day tomorrow. Those 2 spots are up for grabs, and it's not a bad thing. I've got to admit that this is the first heat I've seen in 2 days. I've been a bit busy. I'm glad to be able to see someone sweat.
4 minutes on the clock. Claudia Gluck, Elisa Fuliano, Lucy McGonigal, Taylor Howe, all vying for first, second, third overall. But yeah, your hand go in the air.
That's the difference between you and me. You're looking at that. I'm looking at are the ergs lined up correctly and what's the body language of the judges. that's what I'm looking at when I see this. All right, yeah, very complimentary. Thanks for that.
You got one. Claudia Gluck doesn't beat her original times. That's going to put her, I think, in 3rd overall. So her original time for Mayhem is still faster. She learned nothing. Elisa Fuliano, there's McGonigal. That's good for the 2 of them. Leia Starn across. Man, you can almost imagine the burning sensation at the back of your throat, like lying on the ground after that. It's just such a classic CrossFit.
I'm seeing this. I'm just glad that we padded those arrival mats because they land on their knees. And I'm just like, yeah.
Are you like the guy then that goes to a restaurant and is like, this could be more efficient?
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the reasons I got divorced 12 years ago. Was when we were going around, oh, this is lousy service. This is hospitality. God, can't you stop?
Funny, the way you enter the dishwasher is terrible. You need to start at this section and work your way forward.
Yeah, that's not how they did it in the salon.
Okay, we've got another crowd. They're pretty much all getting off the bike here from what it looks of it. Coming up on 6 minutes on the clock. 10-minute time cap. Doesn't appear like it's going to be needed.
I mean, she looks like she's just doing the Sunday shopping on the bike.
She looks like she's on a penny farthing. Tiny on the bike. There's 2 more across.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a short athlete on those bikes and stuff, you like those. When you're a kid and you drive, you put wooden blocks on your feet. I don't know. Well, that's good for the crowd. Claudia's popular. So.
Yeah, heat wind pushes her back up a little bit further.
For the heat win.
So Miriam is conceivably the lowest possible female that can get a games ticket. She was in 6th before this. She did well there to keep herself in contention. So then it looks like that same top 6 are still pushing, and it was Lisa Fuliano in first place. Can't go to the games, but can win. Hefty little check to carry home to Italy. You got Lucy, and her and Claudia are basically trying to keep the others at bay. Claudia took a heat win, not overall. Lucy came in, I think, 5 places behind Claudia. So the two of them did what they needed to do, but the gap is tightening bit by bit. So it's going to be a case that we get to tomorrow with literally everything to play for about 6 women.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when you have one person or 2 people dominating, and you know who's going to, it just takes out the. It's like, is it going to be Jocko or is it going to Rafa?
Yeah.
So it's it. And here it's not. You've got some young talent here that, if they can access the big stage of the games and get that experience, and shake some things up, and that's pretty cool. And with some of the top ladies up, we're going to go over to the interview. I think.
Taylor Howe.
Très spécial et vous êtes la meilleure poule au monde. C'est vrai, je le sais, j'en ai fait partout dans le monde des événements et vous êtes les meilleurs. Maintenant, c'est le temps de vous gâter. Qui veut des t-shirts en fait?
Her mic isn't coming in, so maybe I'll just tell us and pretend what she's saying.
Non, attends, laisse-moi assez.
Ha 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 ha. Yes, I did really well. Really like our muscle ups.
Allez, faites du bruit pour Tom et l'équipe. On vous envoie tout ça dans les gradins.
Their nails weren't a problem at all.
Yeah, I needed to do well.
Allez, on amène le bruit.
I wore my frog lips. There they are. Yeah, we don't have the feed from that, but you can gather that she's saying, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my efforts overall. I think that actually might have kept her in 4th, but moved her closer to 3rd.
Do you never get the feed from those interviews?
No, we do. Every other time we have, I don't understand what happened there.
Just someone on the technical side talking out.
Or it's far more likely that I am.
Because you've got a lot of coloured buttons there, like orange and reds and stuff. Is there a button that I shouldn't touch?
No, they're actually all fine. I can do like a rim shot, and I can do like the sad trombone, and I can do like an air horn. You want to do that?
You're not shooting any wings here, mate. I'm gonna be off for a cappuccino. Yeah, this risks. I hope no one's watching this.
No, nobody is. It's my channel, so.
Well, they're like, I don't know. I think like the cumulated views like yesterday, like 60,000 people came on yesterday, something like that. So I don't know the number. So you can find this for. Our live stream this is not the American thing. It's a French company that we use for years, and it's actually 25% of the cost of the Americans. Just I'd say that for the games team.
Wow.
If you're looking, you can actually stream. Oh, here we go. Look, they're chucking stuff into the crowd there. Look. Oh wait, those are my socks from yesterday's workout. They're chucking in dirty socks.
Oh, is that why that guy's in the hazmat suit in the
I
back?
don't know, but my socks seem to have broken the gun. Oh, she's throwing socks into the crowd. Oh, she didn't like them. She threw them back to someone else at the back of the stands.
I can't say I blame her.
All right, who's up next? Oh, big Bronny.
Yeah, we
Look
got
at
the
that.
men. So bronze on 400. Nika, 24 behind him, along with Moritz. Callum Clements, like in theory, Callum Clements could get a spot, but he needs basically to win this event, come top 3 in the next event, come top 3. Like he has a huge job in his hand.
He's climbed nicely today. I had a chat with him this morning.
Yeah,
And
he's
I
a
think
great
he was,
kid.
10th this morning, something like that?
Yeah,
He was
I mean,
like
it's similar to a lot of the females, bombed the first event and then just clawing back, like workout by workout from there.
He's a really nice kid. And then when you talk to him, he was like, hola, Callum, ¿qué tal? And he's got like some Brummy accent.
Yeah, he's Spanglish.
His parents, he's never lived in the UK, but
No.
it's as if he's, I don't know.
Yeah, his parents are like from. I had him on the show a while ago. Really nice guy. His parents are from somewhere in the Midlands. Moved over.
Bradford or something. Is Bradford the Midlands? I don't know.
I think it is just outside Birmingham somewhere,
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he can, when he's speaking English, especially, it's like there's the the
Yeah.
Spanish like kind of
Yeah.
lisp pronunciation of some words, and then it's like, yeah, Birmingham just slips in. You're like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah, because he lives south of Spain. They have really hard Spanish accents. He lives just like somewhere between Alicante and Denia. That's right. Yeah, he lives in Denia, and really nice kid. He's got that professional will to be an excellent athlete, but that personal humility, which is a nice
Yeah.
combination, which some of the other athletes would do well to discover.
So one of the guys got Luke Parker, whose games aspirations for this weekend at least are over, but
Where are the French dudes? What's going on, man?
so
So
Luca Buisson, that's good pronunciation, isn't it? Buisson.
Buisson, that means bush.
Okay.
Lucas Bush.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to the French Throwdown.
2025. Yeah, where's Guillaume Briand and
I think
Luca
he's in,
Uz?
I think as this shifts now, we'll have the second 10. I think
Yeah.
Guillermo is in that second group of 10.
Which is the good 10. That's the 10 you want to be in, right?
Well, they're all in the one heat. The next
Second 10.
is 20
yeah,
in
but
a
you want to
heat.
be in the second 10 though, don't you? Right? Is that it or not?
Oh, Guillermo's moved up. So he's in the heat that you want to be in.
Yeah.
And he might be in the second 10 that you want to be in too.
Okay. I got you. So, Romain Filono, he's in there. Okay, he's a good kid. Nice kid.
So we have, again, there's a few guys who have done this. So Luke Parker obviously did it. Time to beat the global time to beat 3 minutes and 17 seconds.
And that's outrageous.
Isn't it sick? How...
Was that?
That was at Copasor. He beat Roman by a second. So he obviously had the benefit of watching them do it and then doing it afterwards. So, but
317.
it's still
That's crazy.
crazy fast.
Yeah, when you got, like a Jason Hopper doing 407.
Yeah.
That kind of puts into perspective, right?
So Moritz Fiebig of this field has the time to beat 328. Luke Parker having a quick prayer.
I thought he was belching. Yeah, these guys want it. They can smell an opportunity now, right? But Big Bronny, he was funny yesterday. He came off the workout where he nipped. He literally got onto that landing mat like 1/10 of a second. I can't remember who was the other athlete who was like cruising to the line with his hands up, taking all the glory, and then he got taken over right just on the landing mat. It's like the lesson. It's like seeing those marathon runners. They do 42 kilometers. And then the last like 10 meters they get taken over.
Is absolutely going for it.
Yeah, Romain Filono does not like the bike at all. He doesn't like the eco bike at all. So this will not be his favorite event at all. But he's hoping to catch up as soon as they move onto the gym. Just coming back to old Big Bronny, he's a masters athlete and.
Yeah, he qualified for the age group, didn't he, this year too? That's crazy.
Yeah. And he's just feeling good, He's feeling good. And he said, "Well, I want to see if I can still do individuals." And yesterday he spent his evening just giving some good.
This is crazy from Luke Parker.
Giving some good shit talk to others, saying the view from the top is very nice. Was one of his posts, and then the other one was a message to all the youngsters: the old man is still here. So he was giving some shit to the other competitors yesterday. Yeah.
So Luke Parker, like 45 seconds there, he was heading for the bar. That is nuts. You think he maintains that in the second sprint? I mean, that's hectic enough. Like he's like
He keeps it sub 4 potentially, but if he creeps over that, he's going to fall apart.
he's heading for blackout territory here if he keeps. This is.
That's my technique. Is when I'm out, I just like pretend to chop my hands up while I breathe.
So he must have done 15 off the rip unbroken, right?
Yeah. Because he moved on to the second bar.
Yeah,
That's
he's on the
flow,
second
right?
bar. He's on the
He's
second
also
bar.
not the only person on that bar.
No. So the other guys have made up some
You
ground
got-
on him.
Yeah, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4 now moving up to the second bar. So for those of you listening to us, you just don't realize that what you're missing out if you're not watching, because Johnny Davis to my left with those sultry Welsh tones was voted amongst the 225 seminar staff the best looking CrossFit seminar staff.
Was that an anonymous vote though, or
I think there was ballot rigging. I think it was the U.S. Democrats that.
last rep for Luke Parker 2:28? So this, I mean, like he can't go to the games. He's too far out. He just bombed at the start of yesterday and has just had a mountain of climb and it was too big. He cannot go to the games, but he's obviously viewing this as a shot at redemption and to say, well, okay, I didn't get the weekend I want, but I absolutely annihilated that workout.
So his previous time was what, 350?
No, he's in the fours, I think.
Was he in the fours?
Yeah, sorry, 3:51.
3:51.
So he has just under a minute to beat that time from Mayhem.
I mean, like 3:17, 3:18s. Those times are just outstanding. I mean, I'd be in a different time zone. It's not the same workout for me at all. It's
15 calories, I think.
I'd really like to see a
3:30.
sprint finish.
2 calories to go for Luke. He's got 10 seconds. He's going to beat his time from before. So 3:44 for Luke unofficially. Puts him about 10 seconds. No, what was he on? 6 seconds ahead of where he was. That's pretty impressive that he managed. I was like, he's going to just burn himself to the ground and go into a ditch somewhere. 4:04.
I love this workout. Just for that last like 10-meter wobble.
The stumble, yeah.
Yeah, the stumble, the
Wad drunk.
yeah, the night out.
The workouts have been good. The program is good.
Yeah, like it's balanced.
Well, thank you.
Had you any reservations about using like Mayhem? About
any reservations about using Mayhem?
like handing it, like giving away the.
No, I mean, so I sent out the team to Mayhem to the box, and they worked with Rich and the team. So David Lenouvelle, who's our sporting director, and Jordan went out there for a week, and Rich was amazing. I mean, just like an outstanding host. They had a wild time, and they worked on all the programming. They'd obviously done a lot of meetings before. They tested some stuff, and then they brought it all together in that week. So I had no reservations at all because it was tried and tested over and over again. And Rich has been a really good partner for the French Throwdown in the last few years. He came out last year.
They were here, yeah.
Oh yeah. He came out last year, and he would literally, like, if he was teaching a class at 10, he would leave like the affiliate lounge at say 8:30 because he would know that it would take an hour and a half for him to walk like 300 meters, and he would stop and take photos with everybody and stuff. And he was just like a outstanding guy. I think when you have someone with values like that, you can trust pretty much what they're going to do.
Yeah. Wow. I think everybody's familiar with some infinitely scalable version of that feeling that they have.
This is where the burning sensation in your throat is. This is a nasty workout. And I'm looking at those Echo bikes. I have PTSD because it took us literally there were 2 of us building those for a day. Just those bikes there, that's like 12 hours of my life putting those together. As gnarly, that was like, you don't want to spend a Monday.
You can delegate that sort of stuff. You have 2 sons as well, don't you? Can you not be like, guys?
Well, I mean, I only recognize one.
You want some pocket money?
I only recognize one of the 2. No, I only have one son. But
do you not have 2 kids?
No, not that. Do I have 2 kids?
I mean, there was a guy that introduced himself to no.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no, I've only got one.
What age is he? 12, 10?
He's actually 15. I'll tell
Is
him.
he?
Yeah. He's
God, all my facts are not facting today, are they? 2 kids, wrong age. And I met him as well.
I'm not Greg. Greg's got 10. So you pick an age, you're right. Haven't you got a kid who's 7? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you know? Well,
Greg's
you've got so many kids. It's every age.
He's like the Von Trapp family going around. Let's see if we can hear Luke. No. Okay, no audio for Luke either.
Okay, let's do this. So, how did you get that body?
Yeah, so Luke I actually don't know how he's holding a conversation there. I would probably sit on the ground. Yeah, I'm not surprised that was a short interview.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, I appreciate you, but I need to get out of here. I'm going to fill a bin somewhere.
I need food.
I don't think he's thinking about food.
I feed the beast.
So heat 1, Luke Parker absolutely sent the bike, maintained pace on the bar, and held on the bike again. He sets the time to beat. I mean, the facial expression says it all, really, doesn't it? I'm sure he thinks he's sprinting. That's great. It's not like I was saying to Johnny earlier on that there's a lot of, like you mentioned, there's a lot of athletes that this is their games and this is like the pinnacle of where they go. And it's nice that they get that sort of moment, that it's like a heat win, like the guy snatching earlier on with everyone out on the floor, that there'll be that thing of like, wow, that was amazing that everyone in that arena was looking at me for 5 seconds.
But it's good for them. It's good for their future as well, because this gives them the opportunity to attract partners, gain followers, that kind of stuff, right? So you have to give them this exposure. And so it's really good for these kids here.
So 3:46 was Luke Parker's time, and we have heat 2 coming out. I said 3:46 with great confidence there. I hope I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, you did. So Guillaume Briand is looking to go back to the games. I mean, like this is his year. He's put the earring in. He's growing the mullet. He's thrown it all in. So yeah, good luck to him.
Mustaches make it come back.
They are, yeah. Yeah, the
Mullets and mustaches.
the San Francisco fireman mustache. Yeah, classic.
Philroy Peters in the last heat. That's pretty good. This is his first like big level indie comp.
He seems like a really nice kid as well.
He is a unit.
Yeah.
Like he's massive.
I wasn't talking about us as a nice kid. Yeah, he's a unit.
I mean, he is a nice guy because if he wanted to, he could just kick anyone through a wall as they approach him. But he says hi instead and chats. And yeah, he's a humble guy, nice guy.
That's it. Nice people are capable of danger. Capable of violence.
That's true. That's fair.
They choose peace.
So Nika in your center lane is in third place. He's the guy who's basically trying to claw his way back up, take one of those spots. He was hurt a bit with, not physically, but points wise by Isabel. Bronislav won that, pushing him up into first. So he's in the prime spot to qualify. Moritz is in third, already qualified, but obviously wants to win. So 2 spots up for grabs.
See, like, Moritz was good with us. He was good with us because he qualified, so he didn't need to come to the French Round.
Just stayed home.
But he still came. Why? Because he committed to it.
Yeah.
And I respect that. That's cool. That's cool.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
There's your leader, Braun, second place, Nika. Callum Clements, who in theory can get a qualifying spot. In actuality, I mean, unless he does something particularly special, it's not going to happen. So 3:17 is the world record so far in this workout, set at Côte Passeur. The time to beat in this event is 3:44. Luke Parker in the first round. I mean, Philroy is the type of guy to absolutely obliterate himself for this.
Somebody does.
So you reckon someone can do better than 3:44?
I think they can.
Okay, what are we betting? Come on, let's put a number out, and the closest one takes 10 euros each.
3:32.
You reckon 3:32?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll go. So you're 3:32.
So
I'll go 3:37.
Yeah, 3:35.
3:35. Okay. So if it's anything under 3:32, I win.
And
That was
and
the closest.
and
I don't think it will be.
why did you take the middle number? That was like.
Yeah, that was
That was the number in my head.
That was like. That was like what a mistake of a maker.
of this field that's taking, or this group that's taking to the floor now. Moritz Fiebig 3:28 at Wadland Fest. I mean, I'm sure he wants to put on a show, but it's like he probably has PTSD of, oh God, I know how that felt, and I don't know if I want to go there.
The quads coming off the bike, right? I reckon it's actually like the anticipation of getting back on the bike afterwards is like
The second piece.
oh yeah.
But it's always the
far
like
out.
assault bike, echo bike, all that. It's like 5 seconds after you get off the bike is when it just hits you like a truck. So you have that. There's also that danger of this feels really good, and then you get to the bar and you're like, oh, I'm in trouble. So 3:44, Luke Parker in Heat 1 is the time to beat.
Yeah, big Bonnie.
Braun in first place to the right of your screen. Moritz in third place was to the left. Moritz with the time to beat globally from this group, 3:28. And we're off. Onto the bike. Give us a look at Philroy Peters there.
Have you ever tried that, the jump on the bike, and you missed it?
No. Have you ever done it on a GHD?
I've never tried the jump on the GHD, no. But I have tried the jump on the bike and missed it.
Callum Clements is going for it there, and he really has to. Braun is going for it too. I mean, Braun and Nika are basically a lock unless they completely capitulate and someone else does something special. They're basically a lock for a game spot. Wow. Moritz is not hanging around.
Was that
34
33
seconds. That is crazy. I mean, it still hasn't hit him yet what he just did. So Morris Fiebig first the bar, 33 seconds for 30 calories, almost a calorie a second on the Echo bike. Callum Clements is there too. He really needs to send it.
He looks like his paws at the top is like as if someone's taking a photo of him or something. You know, he's just waiting for the flash before going back down again.
The issue for Callum is he needs to make up like 26 points per event. So if any of Braun, Moritz, or Nika finish ahead of him, it's just not possible. So him doing well in this is great, but he also needs Moritz to pump the brakes a bit and treat it as a victory lap.
We've seen crazier stuff, right? You know, injuries, broken ankles, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
It's like never give up, right? Until the.
So
are you allowed to say fat lady?
15.
Do I get cancelled for saying the fat lady? You can say fat lady things.
15 for Moritz unbroken, 15 for Braun unbroken, both onto their 15. We were asking if anyone will go unbroken on all 30, but unless you're a particularly special gymnast, it's not really possible, is it?
It's possible. It just depends how.
Some kind of glide kip on your last one over to the other bar.
Oh, okay, in that way, yeah.
Johnny has no microphone, but he's coming out with some gems.
You take our word for it.
He's on camera. We can see your handsome jawline.
I can't see a hand yet, but you've got to be looking at those centre two lanes. Morris taking a big break at the top of the bar. He obviously wants to finish unbroken.
I'm going to ask you, Dan, what you think the best way to grow the sport is once all this is done. Because I think it's one of the best ways to get people in affiliates. And as what I see on seminars and as a gym owner, it's one of the things we've lost the last 5 to 7 years.
Morris Fiebig 220 on the bike.
Yeah, because Pedro here is being very serious.
Yeah,
he's wanting to commentate the heat.
Guys, we gambled.
You realise that your commentary doesn't affect what they're actually doing. They can't hear you.
Yeah, but I have a mortgage to pay. If I lose that bet, you don't know the shoestring I'm living on. So Moritz Fiebig, 3:28 is his own time to beat. 3:44 is the time to beat from the previous heat, Luke Parker. I mean, he's still got just under a minute to do it. He doesn't look to be slouching.
What did I say? 35.
35.
I said 37.
And I said 32.
Yeah, you said 32. Johnny said 35. If it's 35, I promise you, I will leave. I will walk out. There's no way.
I mean, I think
you'd be the Barcelona of CrossFit. You'd be like buying the judges and the time.
We got a hand, 2 hands. Callum Clement. Wow.
Slow. Oh,
3:29.
What did you say it was?
Moritz Fiebig 3:33.
Oh God.
Sorry, Braun 3:33. Moritz Fiebig 3:36.
He said 32.
I said
so
32.
Pedro got something right today.
So I win.
Damn.
Eat a dick, Dan.
As long as it's clean and small.
An appetizer.
Yeah. One of those mini sausages you buy at Marks and Sparks.
Who showed you? Georgios Karavis across the line.
Now he's also an athlete that I really like. I've never seen him work out like more than today, but just every interaction, every time you meet him, have a chat. Just really nice kid. Yeah, good values. So you tell us when we can have a serious conversation, or you want to keep being boring and just
No, go
commentate?
now.
Okay.
So how do you grow the sport? Because me and Johnny have ideas, you know.
Hold on, knock 'em
So
out.
you go first, and then we'll give you our little gems.
I think you need a set season
Yeah.
that stays the same for a few years.
Would you say you need a set, even if this is our season, right? Hypothetically.
Like this one here?
Yeah, but
No.
you can tweak it and you can improve on things that are wrong rather than just
Oh, no, I think
like, do you pick a season and say, right, regardless for 5 years?
okay. Take away any financial consequence. What's the best season to get maximum participation and be able to get people in touch with the sport? I'd say is an amazing open where affiliates are involved in it. They get a kickback for organizing Friday night lights and all that kind of stuff. You know, is it like, okay, from the $20 they get 10? Okay, we've spoken about that for friggin' 2 years. I'm a big proponent for that. I think it's about time it happened. Why? It's not about the money. It's about your members are more likely to participate if they think that you giving your time and your coaches to, you know, putting on a show and you're getting, you know, $10 to help the barbecue, whatever, right? And affiliates will say, well, okay, you know, they'll be incentivized to push it too, right? So I think you can get closer to the 500,000 people taking part in that first step. The in-house quarters, I would keep that, and I'd give a kickback as well to the affiliates on that, because there's still organization there. And I would do only in-person semis. And on those in-person semis, I think it's debatable as to whether you do just elites or you also do in-person semis for age groups. I think like a teen and a master would absolutely love to be in this sort of forum with their family and friends around.
Rather than just
Rather
the
than,
affiliates.
yeah, it's like the final qualifier in an affiliate. You see these guys on camera, it's just them and their judge, and you know, there's no. This is the experience, you know, and then you get them so excited and in love with it, they want more, you know, and it gives the spectators a chance. Like I met a guy, he's the neighbor of one of the. He's come to watch, and it's in the beginner category. Yesterday, he was around. We invited him to the volunteer workout. He did his first ever CrossFit workout with the volunteers last night, and he's going to join his gym.
That's cool.
It's CrossFit is a friggin' bushfire, but if you don't come into contact with something, you're not setting anything on fire, right? And so I think those are some steps. I think the games. I'm excited about Albany. I'm going to rent a house on a lake somewhere and have a friggin' wild time. I think.
Do you keep it the same? Do you go like open? Do you bring quarters back?
Yeah,
open quarters?
I'd go open quarters in-house, in affiliates, in-person semis.
Top 25%?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Like, again, we're saying that this is as close as someone gets to the games. Well, most of my members, the closest they'll get is the hope that they're in the top 25% of their age category.
So you go 100%, 25%, 1%,
0.1%,
whatever,
yeah. And then the games itself, I think it's I like, for certain reasons, I like that it was split into
teams and
age categories on one side and that kind of stuff, and adaptive, because they get special attention and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it was the biggest part of it, you know. And I've had masters say, "Oh, it's a shame, you know. I love meeting, you know."
you hear people, they're in a warm-up area and someone's beside them, or in the athlete bag area, and they see, you know, whoever, Tia walking in. It's like, oh shit, there's Tia. Whereas if you're a separate, you never get that.
Yeah, and so, you know, the jury's out on that one, because I also understand that it's harder to be a televised event when you have all these different categories, right? And to make it televisable. I think you need to bring back a documentary series. Road to the Game, something like that.
That's back. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Nice today. That's pretty cool. Hiller brought it back last year. The games are bringing it back this year. That's nice, isn't it?
Right. In all fairness, Tyson and Miranda have been pushing for that for a while.
Yeah, it's great.
And they do amazing stuff. And it's different quality stuff to what gets pumped out during the games. I mean, during the games, what you need is you need media people that they're not pumping out Hollywood production. They're pumping out people stuff and volumes of it. And then you need a Hollywood production, which is a documentary that comes out, 4 or 5 months later, and it needs to be released in the same year, not the year afterwards,
or two.
I think those are small things.
I think the thing as well, like that Road to the Games thing, what that does is like it has a twofold effect where people like us will be like, it's back, and the nostalgia and all that stuff. And then you still get the reach that original series would have gotten to new people where it's like, what's this? And like clicking and finding and then Googling CrossFit near me or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. But I think, in all honesty, to get the sport to where it should be, which is one of the most televised events on the planet, or the games itself is one of the. I would also like to see. We mentioned, country champions. Some way to get a country champion involved, because there's so many countries where CrossFit is in its infancy. It's in its genesis, and to be able to have someone, even if they're not, that they're going to get cut at the first thing, but to have your country's flag there brings eyeballs on. It gives them an opportunity then to work with local sponsors. It gives, the one box in the country all of a sudden doubles its membership base and all this kind of stuff,
And you have a representative in that country that you can potentially use to say,
right.
we need you to visit affiliates, we need you to whatever,
Yeah,
go to a level 1, show up.
And then all of a sudden you have people say, hey, come to Gabon, or and do a level 1, or we did one in Kenya a couple of years ago. And it was there was one coach that was holding out and like badgered us, and he managed to get like a group of 15 together for level 1, and then he sent out, and then all of a sudden you got 2 boxes, and then you got 3 boxes, and so on and so forth. So for the growth of CrossFit, I think that would be really, really healthy.
We were kind of saying that CrossFit shouldn't necessarily. It's not like other sports, but it could learn from other sports. So like Johnny made the point of Formula 1 is like the least spectator friendly sport imaginable. Like it's like the documentary, amazing. Actually watching it, you're like, and then you're just sitting waiting for 15 minutes. But we saw earlier on Petronas, Mercedes, whatever jacket, instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
And then Johnny was making the point of like, they're so well designed, they're everywhere. You go to a Formula 1 event, you're like Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, over and over again, you can spot them a mile away.
Yeah.
What about like the old invitational continents, or even like some kind of do it as it is, but instead of a constructors championship like you have in Formula 1, you have a continental championship. So if Moritz can win points for Europe, and he can also be the fittest on earth.
I already think that the semis should be, so like you say, okay, well, Copa Sur, right? LATAM Brazil semi. Well, actually, it shouldn't just be the semi. It should be you're going to see the champion for LATAM. Who's the fittest in LATAM? Who's the European champion? And as an effect, they then go on to the games. But just that, making it that important, giving it that sort of storyline and narrative, it drives more sponsors, it drives more bums on seats, it'll drive more TV channels wanting to.
And the thing about it is as well, though, like you have like, say, the country champion thing. If you have the fittest in Uzbekistan, it's like, I could not give a shit who the fittest in Uzbekistan is, but I'm not from Uzbekistan, so it's not for me. It's like, it's not going to actually affect, like the CrossFit Games is looking for the fittest man and the fittest woman on the planet, and it doesn't matter who's second or third or fourth. What matters is who's first. The whole I'm the 25th fittest on earth came because of Instagram, not because of that wasn't the intention of the CrossFit Games. It's to whittle it down to one, not to whoever is below one. So it doesn't matter to me who the fittest guy and girl in Uzbekistan is, but if they make it to the games and make it harder for the fittest at the end of the games to be declared the fittest because they have to work a bit harder, they have to beat more people, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. And we're used to what we used to. We know what we know, right? Which is like, my head is profoundly up France's ass, yours is the UK, and the Americans. But the world is a very, very big place. Sorry, Pedro. The world is a very big place, and it's really hard when there's a culture of fitness in certain communities. It's really hard for other communities to develop that.
Is there a danger though of like, not DEI, but like like almost tokenism, where you're like, guys, here's the I don't know, give me a tiny country like Nicaragua. Here's the fittest in Nicaragua, and then they're just absolutely obliterated in the first event of the games, and they've spent like $5,000 to get out there, and it's just a waste of their time.
Well, is it a waste of the time?
But that's what I'm asking. Is it like
they can still claim to be the fittest in Nicaragua, and they did the games, and then they can hope to get a sponsor and maybe then be able to afford to train a little bit more and afford, you know, great food and so on and so forth, or to go to a training camp or something. I don't think it's about tokenism at all, because we're not saying, you know, oh, you know, here's Miss Alabama 2024, right? Isn't she beautiful? And you know, and you know, it's a clear shot for DEI. That's not it. You'll still get the fittest.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the ranking will still be the ranking. You know,
The bigger picture is that in 10 years, it's probably going to add numbers and affiliates and therefore the games in the future. So
Yeah.
like immediately right now, it might not make a difference if we have somebody from a country that doesn't have that many affiliates or CrossFitters. But if you do that consistently, over time, it pushes people back to gyms and seminars and everything else. It's just more eyes on the sport.
it is. It's more. I was out in the Middle East, and there was a guy. I started CrossFit a few years ago because, and he gave the name of the athlete. No idea who the athlete was.
Rich Froning?
No. It was a Q80 athlete, right? And this kid was a Q80 because I started CrossFit because of when you went to the games. So you know and that would happen how many thousands of times every single year that you can do that. So I think there's something grassroots there. I really think there's also about, you know, it's like if you go to the Torian Pro, and by the way, it's an amazing event. The team out there, hats off if you guys are listening. You guys absolutely rock. You're an inspiration. You go to the Torian Pro, that event should be who is the fittest in Oceania. That's the goal. Who's the fittest there, and then the top 3 or 5 whatever qualify for that. And I think we need to really have that storyline. It's not like, oh, they're going there to qualify for the game. No, they're going there to find out who's the fittest in that part of the world, and then they qualify for the games. So all those steps, I think, and you etch those out. I would start the Open a little bit earlier, and then you have one semi or one regional championship every 2 weeks. You know, do you do 7? Do you do week? Whatever it is. So you know, it's like 3.5 months. So you got Open, quarters, semis for 3.5 months. Run up to the games, and then at the end of that, you can then pick and go and have an invitational, do something. You know, I love the invitational. I don't know if you were there at the O2 Arena years ago, 2013 or 14, I think it was. US was there. I think it was US. Was it US, Canada, Australia, and then Europe, right? And it was a 1-day gig. It was a few hours. They all came out, and it's like seeing them bounce and do the box jumps. I was like, gee, it's the first time I saw Froning in action, all that kind of stuff. An absolute inspiration. It was good fun, and it was very marketable and televisable. So the games, as it stands now, is really hard to televise because it's so long. It's like, you know, it's like the Olympics. You're watching the Olympics, right? You know, it's like you're watching Wimbledon from day one until the 50th day. But that sort of form is really good. That would give an opportunity for those top athletes to earn a bit of a living. Then you got, you know, the rogues and all that kind of stuff. But I think you could have an actual game season that is like 7 months long. And then you got content for that. You know, you've got, you know, what happened at the Open. How's it lining up for for quarters? What's happening at the quarters? Talking about, you know, different athletes in the quarters, whatever it is. You then go to in-person semis. Boom. Who's you know, favorite for the next one? Who just qualified? What's going on? All that time, you've got so much content. So I also think that by having a 7 months busy series, it means that podcasters, bloggers, shit talkers would have less shit to talk and more facts and some fun to talk about, and it would occupy the minds and have positive narrative. I think we have to get out of our own way and start talking about the good. You know, yeah. Listen, future's bright, you know, and the last few years have proved it. You know, we can't screw up more than, you know. Can we?
I don't think so.
Surely not. I think things will start heading in the right direction from now.
What makes you think that?
Just the people I've been, especially this weekend, the people I've been speaking to, and the plans for the future, I think is positive. And I think we've messed it up so many times now that as long as we learn from those things, we'll be fine.
Will is asking why the screen is black. It's because the actual official French Throwdown stream has ended, so we're just they've turned off the lights, so we're just basically sitting here talking.
Have they turned off the lights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our leaderboard at the end of the day: Elise Fuliano is top, 496. Lucy McGonigal second, 464. Claudia Luck 10 points behind. Taylor Howe probably arguably insurmountable. So Mirham Von Rohr, I mean, there's an outside shot, but again, it's similar to Callum Clement in the male field. It's going to be tricky. Our male leaderboard, I don't think has updated yet fully.
Not yet.
I think Luke Parker, like top 5 is in his sights. He did a lot. It's just he has such a mountain to climb that it's going to be just tricky for him. But he started off in 16th before that one, and he could be pushing for certainly top 10, maybe top 5. Callum Clement again has a lot to do tomorrow, but it's hypothetically possible. There's some semblance of reality to the fact that he might do it. Bronn and Nika seem to have done enough though to keep themselves in contention for those 2 game tickets.
Yeah, looking at those leaderboards, I think the appeals. So when it's tight and people are like, "Oh God, I've got to see if I can scratch
find a point."
Yeah, the appeals team will be busy this evening.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we got in different categories 770 athletes or something here. We only had 30 appeals yesterday, so the judging wasn't too bad. We got cameras set up on finish lines and all this kind of stuff. So we're getting better at that stuff as well. But yeah, it looks like Bonnie's. He didn't do too bad, right? He came off the bike pretty well, right?
He was fighting that one.
Yeah, he'd be
He was
okay.
fighting that one.
I mean, it's mathematically possible that he gets caught, but he seems to have done enough to secure his ticket at least. Same with Nika. He could get caught, but the person that's chasing him closest is Moritz, who already has a ticket. Yeah. So even if he catches them, they're still they're conceivably okay.
Yeah, it'd have to be Callum, but that's...
He needs a Hail Mary tomorrow. He really needs to just chuck it and hope that it sticks. So we'll be back tomorrow. We have 2 events tomorrow to go. We have some lunging, axle bar lunges. We've got a finale then at similar time to this, isn't it, around 5 p.m. Our time, local time. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you coming on.
I'm just happy that you've come over, mate, because
this is the first time I've been at the French Showdown.
I know you've been an absolute dick up until now.
Finally won you over and got access.
What are you talking about? You've always been invited. No, honestly, I'm not saying this because you're here, but your humor, the way we can do really good stuff without taking ourselves seriously. We can talk straight without sugarcoating shit, and you bring it that way. So I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much, mate. And obviously there's you got the mouth and the looks here. You know what I mean? Like you two combo, you're pretty good. I'm having fun with you guys. So thank you very much for coming out, mate. And it's been a while since I saw you.
Yeah, it has been.
So you got a little bit more grey, but
I've got a lot more grey.
Yeah, but you kept the hair, eh?
Just about.
Even going grey though, it's like he still looks good. Like he's got that salt and pepper thing. It's not like there's a weird grey patch. It's just like all coming in George Clooney-esque. You know what I mean? Silver Fox territory. It's annoying.
Well, George Clooney like 10, 12 years ago.
Any chance you go bald, right? No, or just no.
So, just very grey.
It's annoying, isn't it?
No trips to Istanbul. Yeah.
Speaking of Johnny, here's an ad for your level 2. You can book your seminars at CrossFit.com. You can find your level 1, your level 2, your local affiliate, anything that you need. Nutrition courses, online, in-person, one-day courses. They're starting to be rolled out now. Let's have a look at this.
The level 2 is for people that have done the level 1 and are looking to progress in coaching CrossFit. So actual on the floor, people are moving and you're teaching them movement, correcting the faults, and practicing being able to find or see good movement and faults. Directed programming loaded as well, and a bit of nutrition. But the main focus is on improving them and actually coaching CrossFit within 60 minutes of CrossFit class.
Go! Tommy nailed it in 1, right? Well done. Press up on the bar a little bit more for me, please. Lovely. Reset. Lovely on the board. That's it. Kieran, well done correcting yourself in that second position. Okay, just bring ribs down a little.